Hello, everyone. Happy New Year. Thank you for joining me. Just a quick reminder before I do this pick a card reading. And by the way, I haven't decided which is group 1, group 2, group 3. Let's see if you can intuitively, that's not a word. Intuitively, um, you're just going to have to pick the deck and we'll see which one it ends up being. Okay, January 2nd, we have a new moon in Capricorn. Happy birthday to any Capricorns out there. And we'll get started. So, I think what I'm going to do is group 1, group 2, and group 3. So I happened to put black tourmaline. Oops, that one's coming out. Actually, let's put it over here. So that may be a good stone for you to work with. I just sort of grabbed a few stones, rocks, crystals, that's what they're called. What is going on for the new year for group 1? Okay, I'm anxious, but it's excited. I'm excited for the new year. I'm excited to okay, that's too many. Excited to get started with something. And I feel like this energy is going to last. It's going to be sustainable. So whether this is, how's this relationship going to work out? How is my new health routine going to work out? My new diet plan, my new, I don't know, I'm going to be better about keeping my place clean and decluttered because I feel better. I'm going to be more balanced. I feel better when I sleep better. And that means not having that extra glass of wine or whatever it is for you. I'm going to work on my mental health and not allowing negative thinking to it's like toxins in your brain. What is all over this? We detox our body, but how about spiritually and mentally detoxing and trying to rid ourselves of the bad habits that we take on, where we let our mind just spin in a unproductive, negative topic of self-berating and I can't believe that thing that happened when I was in the 8th grade, and just the greatest hits reel of things that for whatever reason stuck in our minds. I mean, I guess the way I look at it, and I haven't taken an anthropology class, I don't think, or if I did, it's been over 30 years. But it seems like in order to survive, things that hurt us leave an imprint, right? It's trauma of some sort. But I think things that hurt us emotionally or embarrass us has that same instinct that's oh, that's embarrassing. That hurt. I don't ever want it to happen again. And it makes us remember it because it's like, hey, this is danger, danger. But it's kind of, that's not helpful to us. I mean, maybe in some ways, like if you really did say something, wrong after the fact, and then it can make you maybe more careful with your words or something. But a mistake you made as a child, when the whole point of being a child is to learn and make mistakes and learn from them, isn't productive. It's not necessary for you to live. It's kind of something went awry there in our brains. So letting go of those types of things, and let's see what's at the bottom of the deck. Sorry, I'm getting a lot of channeling in, and I've decided to, I don't know, I'm getting bored with my reading, so I'm sure you all are as well. Oh, I guess we're getting another one that, like, my hand involuntarily, like, flicked that out of the deck. if you get a personal reading from me, I do a lot of channeling, so maybe I'll incorporate that a little bit more. Okay, bottom of the deck, the King of Cups. So to me, again, this is emotional. This is something that you're trying to master your emotions in some way this year. So whether it is I'm not going to let that asshole coworker get under my skin and ruin my day, trying to just learn how to have more emotional intelligence, or actually with the King of Cups, it's almost like that's what you developed over or really worked on, or really, some things come into focus for whatever reason, that was maybe a focus uh, for you. And as you apply that in your everyday life, and especially towards you, again, not berating yourself for mistakes that you learned from, and hold like, okay, I got the lesson. I don't need to rub my nose in it. There's more confidence, I think, as people mature. They do learn. As a Sagittarius, I don't think I've learned this nearly as much as I wish I had. But to think before you speak, and also to speak more about things like how much you care about someone and how much they mean to them. They mean to you. Sorry. I still haven't picked up a card yet. Wow. Worth the wait, the Sun card. Gorgeous card. Leo, could be, doesn't have to be. Also Leo time frame, which is, I have my mom gave me this. Yeah, it's my channel. I'm going to show you my Christmas present. How cute. My mom's Catholic, but like super cool about anything. I just have very unconditionally loving parents. But with that bag came this, and I'm like, I never remember the exact dates of each sign. So Leo is, look at this, how handy this is, July 23rd to August 2nd, that time period. And we did just have an eclipse that's going to potentially stretch all the way out 6 months, so getting close to that time period. The sun is about, so you could really be in it with someone. Or coming into the new year, this is going to be happening. Could be someone with children, could be someone you'd have children with. It's a card about, remember that energy, having that energy, that stamina. I mean, it can be a lot of physical intimacy and passion. You may go away on a long weekend with this person. It's an aha moment as well. It's like your spiritual world is influencing. I can't talk to influencing. You're seeing how much it affects everything else in your world, and your approach and your energy. The energy you're putting out is vibrant and positive and happy, and people are drawn to that. And the wonderful thing is that you draw people like that to you. So this won't be a person that bitches all the time and that's negative and pessimistic, and this person's going to reflect or angry all the time. They have a hold over their emotions. And the sun is really starting to realize, I think, that mind-body connection. What else am I getting from the sun? All right, maybe I will, Six of Swords. Yeah, you're moving away from feeling bad, feeling negative. This is emotional and mental turmoil, anxiety, and this is moving away from that. So this could be a literal move, but most of the tarot is not literal. They're metaphorical stories or whatever, pictures. So moving to calmer waters, which is emotions, the realm of that King of Cups, that Elder of Cups. What is it? Elder of Chalices. So you guys definitely could be traveling. I don't know if you're thinking about a cruise. I don't know how I feel about that. And I like cruises, but I'm not sure the timing is right. So maybe that's what you're doing. You're like, oh, we could do this, we could do that. You're having a little bit of trouble figuring out how to do it and be safe about it. Smoother waters for you guys in the new year. The Hermit. This is, you may have a topic and an interest that has really sparked your attention that you're just really into. Probably for me with tarot, I mean, the first time, I know I'd probably seen tarot cards. Like, I know there's some in a James Bond movie, and I'm of that generation where I grew up with James Bond. I guess kids do still now, but when it was even way more prominent. But it wasn't until college, it was over the summer, I had a friend that lived in the same state as I did. And she's like, look, I got these tarot cards. Let me read your tarot cards. And I mean, I was like, just hearing about them, I was like, wait, what? And I was so drawn to them. And I mean, here I am 30 years later, and I would get books, I would eat, I spend a tremendous amount of energy. So something may just, I mean, I always say it's like love at first sight. So it could be love at first sight. There we go. And your hermit ways are ending. As a Virgo as well. So could be something that happened. Oh, here, let me tell you when Virgo is. This is so exciting. August 23rd to September 22nd. Something that happened pointing back to the last part of the the summer if you're in the northern hemisphere. In this relationship, whether it's new or not, you're really making sure you maintain and pursue your own life and your own interests, and that you're not being so available. Like you're just, it's self-respect, I guess. It's, I think, out of desperation, I'm always available, I'm there. And this time you're like, yeah, I can be really there and in the moment, but I also need my moments alone, because that's part of my spiritual journey, is to understand I need time to meditate, reflect, journal. And she could just as easily be out walking in the woods or baking or working on a car. You know what I mean? Whatever is still interesting to her. Like, that's what's going to, partly of what draws you two together, is this turning into a love reading, is that you both have passion for life and things, other interests and your own interests. So page, is this page or knight? It's probably the Knight of Cups. So this is an offer of love. This could be saying I love you to each other. This is someone, and the way these two cards are, some of you could just be straight up moving to a sunny, warmer place from where you live. Or if you live somewhere where it rains a lot, someplace sunny. This Knight of Cups is offering this to the Hermit. So for those of you who have been too much maybe doing your own thing, someone may come and snap you out of hermit mode. But again, you're still going to have your balance is really good. So you have the sun to me, this is representing vacation for whatever reason. The Six of Swords is like navigating shit you don't want to deal with, that everyone has to deal with, that drains us. The Hermit is your spiritual time. But this Knight of Cups, there is love. If it isn't already in your life, it is blossoming, emerging, flourishing. I'm not sure. I don't know what the right word is for that, but it's happening, whether you want it to or not, group one. So that is your reading. I need to write down the time stamp. Okay, group two is the group that pulled this. What time do we got? 16. Okay, group two. I should have, forget it. So this crystal that came out that I just intuitively put on this deck of cards is amethyst. So that may be a crystal you may want to work with. I didn't look it up. So you just go metaphysical properties of amethyst, and the magical World Wide Web will tell you. Magical World Wide Web. It's interesting that I said that. Maybe you're interested in magic, or maybe you're something about a computer programmer. The new year, there we go, have for group two. Jumping. Look at that. Oh, you got all of them came out. Okay. Love it. What's at the bottom of the deck? Wow, coming into the new year like the Empress. So the Empress, this to me, group two, means you're coming in chill. Like, you're feeling very confident, but also very much go with the flow. Not getting caught up in drama. It's almost like you've taken a step back, but in the sense that you realize you need to let other people figure their own shit out, basically. And you may be distancing yourself from some codependency and really getting okay with, you're not a bad person if you don't help solve someone else's problems. Like that, your job as a friend or a significant other or a relative is not to fix everything. And I mean, unless you have like a, young kid, a very young kid. What was I just getting? Some of you could be stepping into a managerial role, but I see you like taking a step back, removing yourself so you're not so emotionally invested in certain situations. And it's really bringing a tremendous amount of peace into your life. And you've learned how to understand, because intellectually you understand, but emotionally it's been difficult to sort of take your hands off and listen and nod and support versus jumping in there, rolling your sleeves up and jumping in there and just fixing everything. This is as much a learning lesson for you as it is for this other person or group of people. Something also may have somewhat organically developed in your life. This is just an example. Maybe someone gave you a plant, okay, and you never really had plants before, and you're just kind of like, oh, what am I going to do with this? But you maybe, had a pot or something. I could put it in this. And then you just kind of really like it for whatever, you're like, oh, I really like this plant. You start learning about plants and gardening, and then you turn into me, and you have shit everywhere now. But it's like now you're kind of really into it, and you're planning on having a garden, or if you have an outside space, or something in pots, maybe even growing vegetables, things like that. Something has evolved organically in your life that brings you a lot of joy and mindfulness. And like I'm getting an Eight of Pentacles vibe. Like you're totally present when you're doing it. It feeds your soul. I just needed to clear the energy. It wasn't bad, but I just felt like it needed a reset. So beautiful, beautiful, divine feminine. Is called. All the queens make up the Empress. Wow. Group 1 had the Sun card in the exact same spot. Beautiful. I think there's going to be a lot of sex happening in the new year. This could have to do with a child. So it could be a child that you're maybe it's a teenager and you realize you just sort of have to step back and let them figure things out. Been there. It's virility. It could be Leo time. Let me get my handy dandy thing, which is July 23rd to August 22nd. Something that happened then, or looking into the future. Someone could be definitely pregnant. And the baby might be a Leo or was conceived during Leo time. Maybe it's, it doesn't have to be. But sometimes you can get timing out of the astrological signs that the cards represent. The Sun is virility, vitality, aha moments, your eyes open. I mean, if you find out you're pregnant or your significant other's pregnant, or even if it's your friend or your sister or your whatevs, I don't know, if it's someone close, you experience some emotions. I remember my best friend got married very young, in my opinion, and was pregnant at like 22. And I just like, what the fuck? I just couldn't. And then another friend got pregnant at like 25 was more of a surprise. And what a surprise. I just love her son. What a wonderful surprise. But that shocked me. I was like, what the fuck are you doing in your mid-20s? I remember being very judgmental, which was not a good look for me, and I still think about to this day. So it's interesting how what's happening to other people can really make you, one, like, what is your judgment? Like, why did I judge it that way? And that's more about us, right, than the other person. But also it can sort of shift your perspective, like, shit, we're adults now. We can, I don't know. And things like that can sometimes switch the trajectory of your life. And I mean, with the Sun card here and the Empress, I mean, this is a really positive, beautiful turn of events or focus. You're seeing things more clearly where you want to go, what you want to do, and have the energy, inspiration, and motivation to go there. And the strength to go there. Damn, group 2. You got to put yourself out there. If you want to meet someone, for example, if you want a new career, whatever it is, you have to put yourself out there. You have to go for it. It's just not going to be dropped on your lap. And I think you're not only the nice thing though is that these 2 cards, they're very similar. They have similar coloring, I guess. It's the gentle way of making things happen. You're still doing the hard work, but it's in order to do it. It's what you need to conquer is a little different than like the Emperor and I can't think of another card, but maybe the Hierophant. This is you have to conquer your fear of what other people will think, just your own fears of adequacy and whether you deserve something or not, and realizing that you really do deserve this, but you don't need to force it or tell people. When the Game of Thrones, when Joffrey's like, "I am the king, I am the king," and oh my God, I'm blanking his name. His grandfather that says, "He who must say he is king is no king," or something. I'm sure I butchered that, but you don't need to. You just realize you have a confidence. You command respect. You don't need to demand it. And you're like, I'm going to put myself out there, and I'm okay if it doesn't work right off and I learn something. That's like the whole point. Otherwise, playing it safe has gotten me nowhere. So you may ask that person out that you then eventually have kids with. Ten of Rods, letting go of fear and burdens that are holding you down, weighing you down, holding you back. And sometimes we hide under these burdens and responsibilities. Sometimes we make our life so busy we don't have time, or we're so exhausted. And this is also, how many of these responsibilities are yours and how many are others? We talked about that right in the beginning, of releasing yourself from burdens that are not yours, responsibilities that are not yours. Yeah, it's such a freeing, like this little kid on the back of the horse, just this free energy. He has his arms up, the sun is smiling. It's just, yes, I'm free. Maybe, I mean, you could be getting a divorce or something. That takes a lot of strength. Because not everyone is going to think that you should get divorced. And if there are kids involved, you're going to make whoever asked for it's going to be made to feel guilty that they're breaking up the family, all that good shit. Holy crap. You have 4 out of the 5 cards are major arcana. The world, something's wrapping up, and you are ready to move into a new way of life. This is like crazy New Year's Eve shit. The world, for me, the world, as we just, our human brains, as we look back over our lives, we see things in different phases, and there are all sorts of ways. Like, we have to file stuff in our heads. I think that's why stereotypes, where the human brain, not that I'm saying that's okay, but the human brain just wants to categorize and then file things, and they can all be, cross-referenced all over the place. But it just seems to be what we do. And so when the world comes up, one of those phases is wrapping up. So that's when I was in high school. That's when I lived here. That's when I was hanging out with those friends. That's when I worked at that pizza place. That's when I, lived with this roommate. That's when whatever it is. That's summer. I hiked the Appalachian Trail. We just have this way of doing things. In the world, it means one of those is wrapping up and a new one is beginning. And this seems extremely positive. It's just going to be even if it's, this is definitely could be inner. The major arcana are mostly spiritual wisdom and experiences that affect you on a spiritual level. And so being able to learn to let yourself go and put yourself out there and go for the things you want to go for, or just be more open and happier and less controlling and more go with the flow and relaxed and not stressing as much. So a lot of this is mental health issues that you may have really been working on really, really hard. And we don't do one push-up and think, oh, I'm good, I'm in shape. I did that. I don't need to do another push-up again. And our mental and spiritual well-being needs to be exercised as much as we exercise the rest of our bodies. So this ability to let go is your superpower, and it brings in this whole new sort of world view and energy and motivation, and it's like fearlessness. It's not in the face of fear. I don't know what that means, but an acceptance that everything's going to be okay. Wow, I really felt drawn to read, and these are not disappointing. Group 3, I grabbed all right, that seemed to want to stay out. Rose quartz to put on that. I feel like I need to wash that. Oh, let's cleanse the space. Maybe that's why. Okay, group 3. Let's see what's coming up for you, how you're approaching the new year. Oh, I don't like when I bend my cards. I was just thinking, looking at that black cat, how much I miss my pets. So you guys may be getting a pet this year. Could be a cat, or you got a new pet recently. You may be starting an online business. Yeah, that stopped right when I said that. So you may be starting a YouTube channel, online business, Etsy, whatever, eBay, whatever it is. No, I don't get paid by any of those. I wish. What's at the bottom? Page of Wands. Everyone's getting their mojo back, it seems like. Everyone. And we have a retrograde coming up, but it doesn't seem to be slowing anyone down. Really inspired by something new, whether it's something, this could be a new exercise program, this could be a new job, this could be moving, this could be traveling, this could be starting your own business, like I said. The Page of Wands is messages about work. So maybe you're going on LinkedIn and networking and things like that, or putting your resume out there. But you're ready to go. maybe you don't like where you're working and you're ready to go. Like you've been slowly cleaning out your office because you just feel it's coming. Yeah, I think you guys may be very intuitive about what's going to happen, because it's just, you feel like I don't have any other choice. Like this is what has to happen, because something of where you are right now just isn't doing it for you. Shit, I forgot to write down when we started. We'll say it was around, and then I'll go back and figure it out. Crap. Um, okay, let's pull the first card. 8 of Cups. I'm out of here. This could be walking away from a relationship. It's walking away from anything that was exhausting you, that you just was just draining all your energy, especially your emotional energy, some place where there may be a lot of drama. So if there was a lot of drama in your workplace, your family or your roommates or your significant other, you're like, see ya. And you're excited though. I think this has been a long time in coming, or this has very likely already happened. And here you are, standing at the precipice. I'm getting an earth vibe now, world card, sorry. But it's interesting I said earth, so we'll just keep that in mind. Maybe you're going to be going out into nature, grounding yourself. But there's oh, this sucks. I need to walk away from something that I put so much time and energy into. What was the fucking point of that? But I'm just excited to move forward. So you're really ready for this. King of Wands. Yeah, wow. Starting your new business, going out on your own. We even have a map here. I wonder where he's pointing. It's not really a real map. It doesn't look like. Here's the cat again. So you definitely may get a pet, and they are always with you, always on your lap. You could do something with the animals. But the King of Wands, boy, he's dynamic. This energy is leadership qualities versus managerial qualities. Like the King of Queen of Pentacles, like they're managers, like but the King of Wands is the leader, the inspiration, the motivator, the he builds the enthusiasm. He's more the marketer, the salesperson, the advertising person. I mean, this could be one, like a travel influencer. Is that, I think, what they're called? You definitely, or if you haven't already, are changing your life this year. I don't even know how else to say it, but you're going to make a major shift in your life, and you're walking away from things that just, you got to the point where you're like, well, I'm not waiting around for things to change. Like, and this is the last time you're going to wait for 8 months, years, weeks, whatever, for something. You kind of have a sense now of what's going to work and what isn't. And you're not going to waste your life or your time or your energy. What else do we have here? Oh, another page of cups. Really exploring new things, trying new things. You may decide, I'm going to sign up for classes. And there's tons of stuff you can do online. You can pretty much do everything online. And maybe you're learning how to paint or draw or write or act or literally anything. It doesn't have to be anything I just mentioned, but the Page of the Cups do tend towards more creative. So does the Page of Wands. And maybe starting your own business, or could be photography. What's this last? I'm curious. Yeah, you guys are working, but you're working at something you love. So this is interesting. The 8 of Cups and the 7 of Pentacles. Okay, that's not working. Are interesting cards because the 8 of Cups, they're both about timing. The 8 of Cups knows that they waited long enough and they're out of there. The 7 of Pentacles, whoops, is still working because what they're working on is fruitful, right? Look at all the pentacles. And that's the whole point. You're putting your time and energy into things that give back to you, that are fruitful. I love that you could be making your own stuff. Like you can see there are grapevines and there's a glass of wine and there's a book there, which to me seems um, like journaling, vlogging, whatever, about an experience. Maybe you're going to, I don't know, renovate something or start something and you don't know how it's going to go, but you just start posting about it and people just follow you on your journey. I'm on a journey. That's reminding me of a song there. I'm just a human being on another fucking journey. I will learn to be peaceful. Oh, it's warrior. I know it is. I'm just a human being. Now I have that song in my head. Movement, change, zest for life, trying new things. Like this is reminding me of the time of life, like after college and or high school, whatever, like young adulthood, when it's the time to travel. Like my niece, one of my nieces is doing the van life. Another one's always they're thinking of doing like a camper for a while and just hitting the road and living on the road because people can work from home and actually enjoy their fucking life. What an idea. Um, and starting some side business or just, I don't know. But I think online communication, we don't have any swords though. That's the one suit we don't have. We don't have any majors for you, but we do have these the 8 of Cups, I'm walking away from something, Page of Wands, Page of Cups, I'm doing something new. I'm doing something that excites me and makes me happy. And just because something excites me and makes me happy doesn't mean it can't be fruitful too, right? There's this old, like, you can only be successful if you're a lawyer, a doctor, a CPA, whatever, a very specific, safe job. But that doesn't mean if you have the guts and the guts to go for what you really want and not stay in a mind-numbing, safe career. There are lots of people who are very successful doing non-traditional way of life, and I think it's going to become more and more commonplace, which I think is great. But it doesn't matter what I think; it's what's in your heart and what fires you up. You're going to allow that to lead you. And leaving, it's like pruning things that no longer, the dead wood,